Sup? It's us, the Riddle Boys. We've
We're
returned.
back. Boys are
Uh,
back.
the boys are back in town. Yes. We are the Paper Dungeon. This is Table Scraps, a show that we run on Thursdays about the other shows that we do during the week. I would normally say that we do on Mondays, but we have other shows during the week this month. Um,
Very special.
so, uh, check those out. We have one on Monday nights. That is our ongoing main campaign that runs at 7 p.m. CST. Also, hello Maz, hello Ragul, Rygul,
Ragu?
Rygul.
Maybe it's Rahul.
Could be. Um,
Hey, how do you say your
yeah,
name?
that is a great question. How
Let us
do you
know.
say
Spell it out phonetically for us. That way we can do it correctly.
do you just want us to call you like Ray or something?
Otherwise, I'm just gonna call you Ragu, like the pasta
Ah,
soup,
yes,
like
of
like
course.
the you know the pasta sauce.
But yeah, check out our shows. We have one that runs on Monday at 7 p.m. CST, another one that runs on Wednesday at 7 p.m. CST. That is our mini campaign called Between the Rows Sins of the Father. It was I DM it, it's fun.
It's a lot.
Um, we don't have any other shows, but this Friday,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow, oh shoot, that is tomorrow. Tomorrow, if you are a member of our Patreon, we will release a short duo shot between me and Grant, DM'd by DJ Mechanomes, that you'll be able to find on our Patreon. Eventually, if you are a subscriber, it will be released over our Discord to our subscribers there. But then, if you're not a subscriber, you're not on the Patreon, you don't get to see it. That's how it works. Other plugs that we have: social media, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. They're there. They're pumping. They're doing stuff, doing things. So check those out. They're really cool. We have a website with a merch store on it, www.thepaperdungeon.com, where you can buy merch with like our logo and stuff on it. That's pretty neat. Speaking of merch, our one of our wonderful cast members, Lydia Corinne, also has a store where she sells her art on shirts, shorter shirts, those are crop tops, and pillows and other things, as well as has a commission list that is currently up and active, where you can commission your own art from her. And you should do that because she's very good. All of her overlays, all of her character art, all that stuff is done by Lydia. She's very good at her job and deserves to be paid money for the stuff that she does. I'm loving your glow right now. It honestly though, on stream it doesn't look too bad. I think it looks worse on Zoom. I don't know, but it doesn't look too bad on my
Well, that's good.
computer.
It was really fine, and I leaned over to take a bite from my sandwich, and it's like
Yeah,
everything is
and you
radiant.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's called the glow up, Drew. You've been waiting your
Hmm.
whole life for this. um I'm sure. Oh, shoot! I can't forget that. That's the plug that I actually care about. Um, I worked with a group of people on a little project for Jasper's Game Day. It is on DM's Guild. You can find it if you search the Mist manuscripts. We've actually gotten some like really good reviews. We got a 5-star review recently. A couple of people have covered it on their like YouTube channels and stuff. It is a pay what you want. Um, it is a oh hello Spaff, how's it going? It's a pay what you want. Oh geez, destination module, I guess. It covers dark domains similar to Von Richten's guide to Ravenloft. Um, it's, as I said, pay what you want, but all proceeds go to Jasper's Game Day. And from now until October 31st, Halloween, um, we will price match. So once it hits Halloween, we'll see how much like donations we've generated from it, and then me and some of the other people in the group will match that and donate it to Jasper's Game Day. So it's a super cool thing that you can do. As a reminder, DM's Guild also takes half of like profits. So what we recommend you do is go and pay the the recommended price, which I think is like $1.50, and then just actually go directly to Jasper's Game Day and then donate what you actually want to donate. So yeah, check that out. I'm really proud of it. It's really fun. My domain was based on the Shadowfell that you saw in the main campaign. If you have kept track of some of the table scraps, little mini games that we've done, it's really cool. There's Old West, there's Bug People, there's all sorts of great stuff in the book. But now to the stuff that we actually do, like the things that we're here for. We played Dungeons and Dragons this past Monday. Things happened. I think.
Maybe
Things happened. I'll be honest, Drew. My memory's failing me. I know that I talked with Leshka.
Well, let's see. So basic rundown, right? Very first thing, Leshka and Abinthy have their talk. Abinthy tells a really interesting and cool kind of story about himself from somebody else's perspective. Really, really interesting, talking about his past as like this war mage person who like basically solo won a war for a country.
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take, you know. And then let's see. Then what do we do right after that? So then after that, we actually cut to Cather kind of having an inner monologue to himself as he.
Oh, I'm starting to remember now.
As he kind of meanders around the grounds, he makes breakfast for everyone. Talks a little bit with Renaya. He now has a really sick tattoo. Tattoo, not tattoo. If you want to know what it looks like, go watch the episode. And
it's
then
Cather's backstory.
It's basically Cather's backstory
up until now.
Basically. So then had a good but kind of awkward conversation with Renaya.
Oh man, it was
where everyone else showed up and had breakfast. Leshka's great. We determined that for the 10 millionth time.
Yep.
Then we left. Then we went.
So we did some research to figure out where one of the pieces of Rod was, which was the Valley of Kings.
Yes. Leshka, Abinthy, and Renaya determined where the next piece of the rod was.
Abinthy is just a natural geologist. Was just designed to look at maps. So we're like, do we go there or do we deal with the curse first? We decided to deal with the curse first with some super subtle hints from the DM.
Real subtle hints. Because and while you guys were looking at the maps, Cather and Edward were kind of trying to deal with the curse stuff, specifically by asking for some help from Cather's gods. That's interesting.
Like 9 of them.
All of them.
Cather doesn't worship a god. He has a pantheon. Like whole religion could be made just off of the gods that Cather follows.
And the funny thing is, we shouldn't even say worship, because Cather doesn't worship any of the gods. Actually,
it's a business relationship.
He just has immense respect for who they are and the power that they hold and the domain that they have. Right. Yeah,
and he dates one of them.
So, so did a little bit of praying, like at Gambit's Keep. If you read into it a little bit, some interesting theories can develop from all that stuff. I will neither confirm nor deny anything right now. But then they determined we got to go to Athala and try to talk to one of the prime goddesses, Saradol.
Yep.
Who is
good grandma. She's a god of grandmas.
She's the god of grandmas.
Yeah. If there was any god,
like the really nice grandmas that like bake the best like chocolates or cookies, that like you show up at any point in the day and they're so happy to see you, and they will like literally like you can sit down on their couch.
You don't need to be related to them. You could just show up at their house. They're like, I expected someone to come today, and you're like, oh, thanks, grandma.
Yep, that's right. 100%.
Saradol, god of grandmas, one of the only domains that Abinthy respects, because he's like
one of the only domains or gods.
No, domains. The god, the like domain of grandmas. Abinthy respects that because he's like, out of all of the things that it's like, like you can be a god of, and I'm willing to be like, yeah, this is a good cause. A god of grandmas is probably up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so you hit up Ceratal, god of grandmas, and
great time.
Yeah, and you have a very deep, meaningful conversation between you, Renaya, and Ceratal in her temple.
She frees Renaya
yeah.
of her curse, of her connection to Lex,
and gives her a free 3 free dates coupon. With Grotz.
Honestly, just saying, if we don't use one of those for a quadruple date, that's a waste. 100%. That's a waste.
We gotta bring. I think I talked with the group after the episode ended, but I'm like, it would be so wonderful if like Edward starts dating like Sam, and then it's like, oh my god, let's all go on a group date. So we go and Sam is just sitting there like, oh my god, these people are freaks. Because we have like an archdevil, 2 demon princes technically, and a god. And then it's just Sam.
And then kind of like a demigod.
Yeah, and then there's like Sam and Edward, and Sam's just flipping out, and Edward just looks over and he's like, oh my god, is this what people see me as? Is this what it was like? Also, hello, Handskate. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the stream. I would love that. I would love to go on a group date. It's also funny because I'm dating Grotz's sister.
Maybe that's what we do next episode. I think that's what we do.
I'm in, episode. Dog. I'm honestly? Super down. Now, like, how much push? Because, well, I don't know if it should be next episode because Lydia might want a solo date with Grotz.
I suppose that's fair. Yeah, like start off with a solo date.
I know that she wants a solo date with Grotz. That's a pretty easy prediction.
That's fair. That's fair. So maybe
I say that they go on a date and we just get to crafting. Yeah. We get to just absolutely farming for items that we can turn into other items. And
I still have Cather still has the Sword of Vengeance.
Throw that in there.
Dude, if we want to, like, that's a great base for something, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some stuff. There's some things. We'll figure it out. But yeah. And also, so my question. Have we kind of decided that we're just not going to go after the rod now?
I mean, I think the final determination would happen in game. Personally speaking, at least with Cather, he would be very much, let's not go after the rod. And more specifically, if the rest of you guys want to go for rod, great. I'm not coming then. Because when Ceratal, like, who is like the queen goddess right now,
she's like,
says, "Hey, don't do this." That that's not something you should touch with a 10-foot pole. Like, you shouldn't touch that with a 1,000-foot pole.
You should honestly just forget that you ever knew about it.
Exactly.
As long as we have 2 pieces of the rod, they can't assemble the rod.
Exactly. As long as you can't assemble the whole Infinity Gauntlet if you don't have 2 of the stones.
Exactly. Like, just throw those in Gambit's keep, and we'll just protect the keep. It'll be fine.
I mean, nobody knows Lex is in Rock for us.
Yeah, it's fine.
And we keep. I mean, not a whole lot of people know that we have a rod.
Now, my other question is if we're not going to go after this rod from a logistics gameplay perspective,
what are we going to do?
Can Lydia unattune to the rod? Because she's mastered it, like she's gotten rid of the whole like curse deal for the 2 parts, but like it's gonna really suck if she's stuck with this really bad magic item.
That is a good question, actually. With Ruat specifically, given the fact that she has mastered it, if she can unattune, because part of at least the original like what happened like with Catherine and Morph, obviously, right? Like when they first encountered it, like they couldn't unattune. That was part of the
because
curse.
you were linked. But if she's not linked to anyone,
but she has full control over it now. So I suppose that is a good question.
Because like
so personally speaking, I would think it reasonable to say, even if this wasn't necessarily intended this way, I think it'd be reasonable to say that she can unattune to it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Otherwise, her getting stuck with a D4 cure, or not a D4, a cure wounds,
an E rank magic item.
I'm just like,
and it's slightly better now. Like I think it also counts as like a Rod of the Pact Keeper, which is fine. But like, that's not something that you're going to carry with you to the late game most of the time. Like you're going to want to. You're going to want
something a little better.
And it was fine when it sucked, but we knew that it would get stronger if we get more pieces of the rod. But if we're not going to get more pieces of the rod, then we should probably not. Like, I would not want to remain attuned to it if I know that it's just going to suck forever and it's never going to improve. Maybe different for Lydia, just because I am much more of a power gamer. So I'm like, well, heck no, if this rod isn't going to become, like, good, I'm switching out. I'll take like anything, really, honestly.
Yeah. I would agree. I mean, we are both of a similar mindset when it comes to a lot of things for D&D. So yeah, I totally agree. Like, if the rod, because like, sure, at early levels, a rod that gives you cure wounds, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Like a rod that only does cure wounds at our level?
Even if it was like, you could cast cure wounds as a bonus action, it would be better.
Honestly, yes. That might actually make it somewhat worth it, just purely on the notion that most classes don't have a good bonus action.
Yeah, most classes don't have a good bonus action. Also, Renaya has shifted much more from being a like designated healer to doing to being a lot more all round.
We don't have a healer.
No, we kill them before they kill us. Long rests are our healer.
Yeah, exactly. Tarak was our healer.
Which is bad because he was not good at it. He could heal himself pretty well.
When the only healing you have at this point, really, I mean, like obviously, again, like Renaya still has some healing spells because of cleric. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, yeah, she's more focused on kind of warlock stuff, and so when your next best healer is a paladin and or a bard.
Yeah, Apathy can heal.
Oh, wonderful!
He has one spell.
The wizard who is known for their plethora of healing spells.
Also, thank you to Daytree for your 4 months of subscribing. Hello, welcome to the stream. Abinthy has a spell Wither and Bloom, which can, in a 30-foot radius sphere, can target one person and deal them necrotic damage, and then target another person, and that other person can roll a hit die and regain the health.
So,
and it's better if the hit die is Abinthy rolling it, because he has he has a magic item. Oh shoot, I can't remember the name of it. It's the one that automatically stabilizes you when you're at 0.
Oh, sure.
That's the like actually important part of the magic item, but it also says that when you roll hit die, you gain twice the number rolled.
Oh.
So, it becomes a much better spell for
Abinthy. You get a minimum of 2, max of 12.
Mm-hmm. So, most of the time, and assuming that's cast at the lowest level, Wither and Bloom, because the higher level, the more hit die you can use at a time. So yeah, Abinthy's healing.
And if you stack that, that's pretty.
Yep, Abinthy's healing is incredibly niche and has a lot of steps to it, where it's like, haha, there's a person that is downed over there. I can raise them up, unless there's no enemies within 30 feet of them.
Really the problem with the healing that we currently have, like we have actually a decent spread of healing abilities. The problem is they're all very small healing abilities. healings, right? And part of the whole thing of like having like a cleric in the late game is not just that they have lots of healing spells, but they have healing spells that heal you like a big amount.
Yep.
Like, or even the tried and true, I just cast Cure Wounds at like 5th level.
Yep.
The
other
like
this is really one of the hard parts of playing a healer in 5th edition too. It's because it's like you either are a healer and that is like the thing you do, and it makes the start of the game really difficult because like everything just kind of sucks. Or you like don't heal at all, because if you try to do both, you just can't, because healing takes up so much economy of your actions that it's basically like I heal and that's what I do. Once you get towards late level, it feels cooler, but still you're basically just like, I use my action to heal for a whole bunch now. And that's a very difficult role to play, because sometimes it feels like you aren't getting to interact a whole bunch. If you're just casting in healing spells, which is why a lot of people don't play healers. And to be fair, healing is weaker in 5th edition than it has been in the past, where it's just because your like armor class and health have such limitations to it, healing isn't as important. If you can deal more damage and have more health, those are the things that actually matter. And like it's the same thing with tanking, where it's like, sure, you can heal people, but it would just be better to make it so that way they aren't dealt the damage in the first place, or the damage is redirected or reduced. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to heal people.
Yeah, and I mean, and the thing is too, like part of the reason that we've been able to make our party structure work for as long as we have, we're 13th level at this point, which is, as an aside, honestly, that's a whole nother thing that's like just kind of a really cool thing to think about. Like, we've already been playing the campaign for like 2.5 years at this point,
something like that.
We're in the stretch of the 3rd year at this point. It's really cool. Anyway, but yeah, like kind of what you mentioned before, like our party dynamic so far really has just been kill the thing faster.
I mean, that's just kind of how it is in 5th edition.
It just just because there's a lot of ways to deal damage and to deal lots of damage. But yeah, like healing, and really, I think maybe part of the reason is like it's harder to get good like synergy with healing.
Yes.
Because like there's so many ways that you can, if you're making it, an attack, you can do so as a party, and like this person casts this spell that does this one thing that sets up this one thing to be easier, which then sets up this one thing, and then this person gets a critical strike because of it.
Yep.
And deals like 150 damage because they're a paladin, and that's what paladins do. Versus healing, it's just like, I heal you for 10 hit points.
The closest thing that we had, because we did actually have a little bit of healing synergy for like a few combats, and then the other combats just were not in a good situation or location for it to work. But Renaya had, it was like a aura of something, aura of vitality maybe, or it was the one that any dice rolled for healing is rolled at max. Aura of Hope, maybe?
Yeah, it's like Aura of Hope, Aura of Healing, something like that.
Aura of something. And then Tarak had the one that in a radius around you can bonus action roll like 2d8 and like target someone with the healing for like a minute. Sure. So that was some cool synergy where like between Tarak and Renaya, it was Tarak can like absorb the damage and then heal himself for max and then still have an action to be able to do stuff. So there were some, like, there are some synergies. They're just few, far between, and like just difficult. And they often require like multiple people to like be on the same page and be doing almost the same role. Healing is just weird in 5th edition. Right now, my goal as Abinthy is rather is to be fully self-sufficient, so that way I don't need a healer, because I know that like I just like if someone's going to get healed, I want it to be a different party member, because it's like, oh, I'm sure Abinthy can make it out of that fine. He'll be all right. He'll be fine.
Right. Yeah. He has ways of surviving.
Yeah, it'll be all right. And there's a lot of like Abinthy's main goal is denial, and then sudden burst damage, and then back to denial. That's like his game plan of like not I wouldn't even say debuffs, but it's like, let's make it really difficult for the enemy to do the things that they want, make it easier for my team to do the things that we want. And then every once in a while cast like 8th level lightning bolt or something like that.
Every now.
Yeah, some big boom damage thing when we're in a good spot. And he can do like some emergency stuff where it's like, oh shoot, Renaya got knocked down, and he can like pick her up and she'll heal like at most 8. Woo. And that's the kind of like emergency stuff that he has on hand. I am excited for when I don't think we'll have combat next episode. I doubt it.
Which hurts me.
It's possible. It's possible. It depends on what DJ's feeling.
Yeah, it depends on what we actually like decide to do.
There's no clear evidence of combat in the next episode. I would say that.
Yeah.
But I could see like 2 episodes from now.
Yeah, probably.
So that feels combat.
I mean, if not next episode, then definitely the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. Do you think
one healing thing though is that is going to be kind of nice is the fact that with Cather's tattoo, he can heal
himself. Yep.
From the damage he deals with his tattoo. So that's also something. Yeah.
I do kind of like the idea that all of us have like ways to be like we have like lifesteal essentially on all of us in some way, shape, or form. Like I think Renaya might have vampiric touch. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It feels like a spell that Renaya would have, though.
It does feel like a Renaya spell.
And then like Edward has like bard stuff. Whatever that entails.
The classic bard stuff.
He has the least available and easily accessible heal, but like he can just like heal himself with a spell or anything. And then Cather has lay on hands and his like tattoo regen. Abinthy has 1 spell. But that 1 spell can take him a lot, because right now I think Abinthy, because I got to choose a lot more of my magic items, so I got to kind of optimize them as best that I could. So I have a pretty good lineup of capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
That let me kind of assist with my continued existence. But yeah, do you think so? If we don't go to the Valley of Kings, it was brought up a little bit in this past episode, and I think I talked about it afterwards as well. Do you think Leshka's going to go to the Valley of Kings and like just keep an eye on it, or like how long do you think Leshka's staying around?
So he will likely, unless something were to come up that I would feel like force Leshka to stay, Leshka's gonna leave at the beginning of the next episode. The only reason he didn't leave last episode is because we ended things right after we left the temple. And so once we decide that we aren't going to the Valley of Kings, Leshka was probably going to be like, okay, well, if that's the case, I should get back to the library. They probably need as much help as they can, and then after spending a couple of days in the library, he'll probably put together some sort of expedition, either by himself or with a couple other people of the Scholars Guide, to go to the Valley of Kings just to check it out, just to see if anyone else is kind of being sketchy and maybe skulking about.
Gotcha.
And to keep a small eye on it, so to speak. But yeah, no, he's definitely departing next episode.
Well, that's kind of sad to hear, but also Catherine's there, so it's like you win some, you lose some, you know.
Yeah, right. And I mean, and to be honest, we've had a lot more episodes with Leshka than I thought we would get. So, which is right. So on that hand, it was actually it was really cool and fun. But at the same hand, it's like, well, Cather is my main character for the campaign, So
yeah, that's the one that we have the most art of.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one we have the most art of. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited to get back into swing of things with Cather. But I do have some ideas for what to do if we decide to not go to the Valley Kings.
Yeah.
And Aaron, you and I have talked about this a little bit, but Cather would bring up the idea that, okay, it's like, well, there are these threats on the horizon, with the Fae and possibly like demon princes, even like who
Let's
knows
just
what
go
else,
hunt
right?
down Justari, dude.
Honestly, he will bring up the idea of just going to the Fae and just going to Justari's palace. I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally down for that.
I'm 100% in.
Like, let's go.
I don't care what level we're at. Let's just yeet. Let's get in there.
And then we're gonna force DJ to make it possible for us to either win or get out alive.
Yeah, or at least like get some form of important information. Something along those lines. I think it's doable.
It is definitely. It feels like one of our currently it is one of our leads to try and go to the palace and figure out what the heck that is that chrysalis.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we haven't heard from Kiyomura in a while, and he was last heard in the face, so maybe we can look into that a little bit.
How much money do you want to put on Kiyomura being in the chrysalis?
I 100% think it's Kiyomura in the chrysalis.
Because I'm like, it's got to be. I hope that this turns into like a Berserk Griffith thing, which I know. Do you know at all what I'm talking about?
It sounds vaguely familiar, but
Berserk the anime / manga. Griffith is the character in it.
Okay, yeah.
It's brutal. If you are not into watching gore or horror or just some really messed up stuff, it's really, really good. It's an actual work of art. But Griffith is one of the main characters and actually becomes the main villain. And it turns out he becomes like transformed into like King of Darkness. I hope Kiyomura gets Griffith.
Oh yeah. See, yeah. I think there's a decent chance that Kiyomura is in the chrysalis. Although there are issues if he is in the chrysalis, and that's where we go to first.
I hope that like he's in the chrysalis, but they're like using his body and soul as a storing unit for Asmodeus. I hope that's they like get
that's what you want
the 9 hells, and he like reincarnates into Kiyomura's body. I hope it's something wild like that.
That would be pretty great. That would definitely feel like a final arc right there. That feels like something for a final arc.
Look, and then we all get to accomplish our dreams. I get to free my girlfriend by killing her dad. You get to meet with Kiyomura again.
Right before we kill him.
Yeah, but then you get a really sad scene after you like impale him through the heart.
See, here's the
brother,
problem.
And then his eyes clear for a moment.
See, the problem is, right, Cather, especially right now, really does not want to fight Kiyomura ever.
Oh, but that's
in any way, shape, or form.
That's the internal conflict where you're like I
can't
do it, and then he's like, get it together.
But here's the problem. Aaron, is it's so much of an internal, because I agree, like the internal conflict would be great, but the problem is right now for Cather, it's so much of an internal conflict. He would just stand there and do nothing.
He would Edward.
Yes, 100%.
Fine, we'll kill Kiyomura.
So yeah, if you feel like you can kill Asmodeus Kiyomura by yourself, by all means.
let me start. Like, I'll start on a kind of roundabout little information. My DMing style / way of playing D&D is basically just anime mixed with a Bollywood movie. And so what I want is a final battle that just becomes JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but in Dungeons and Dragons, where like I'm walking up and as Abinthy, and then like there's Kiyomura, and he's like, "Oh, you dare approach me?" And I'm like, "It's your time to die, Kiyomura." And then the stand that is Glossia appears behind me in a cool pose. And then Asmodeus appears behind Kiyomura. And then just our spirits punch each other. That's the game that I want to play. And so that's what I'm hoping for. I hope that we just fight an anime battle with Asmodeus inhabiting Kiyomura's body. Is that too much to ask for? I don't think that's too much to ask for.
Maybe.
I really hope that DJ like pulls up the VODs of table scraps and just goes through them for campaign ideas.
maybe he does. Maybe
also,
he secretly
watches.
But if we decide to not do the face stuff, which I think is reasonable for us not to do right now.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Panther would lobby for the idea. He'd actually agree with Abinthy in trying to craft some things. However, the cool thing about that is because initially you think crafting episode, that doesn't sound any fun. No. They must begin a journey to find the blacksmith.
To find the things that we need. And I know one.
To find like a blacksmith and find really interesting materials to like create like a really rad sword or suit of armor or something for the party.
We need 14 more pieces of tripper.
Yeah, we need. That's right. We just go on a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, we just go mine the mountains. It's like a MMORPG.
No. So we just have to, that just means we just have to go back to the Alistar Dwarves.
Yeah, we go back to the Alistar Dwarves or into the Lunacona Mountain. We can stop by the...
They don't hate us still, do they?
Oh, probably. We could stop by FAD, the Fellows Aldernite distribution.
Yeah.
Which I just call FAD because it's funny to me.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And Edward can be like, "I own you. Give me your best Aldernite."
Hey, I'm the CEO. Give me what I want.
Yeah, and then we can stop by the Alistar Dwarves and try to get some stuff there. But yeah, and so here's the thing. I would love to play a Dungeons & Dragons campaign that was basically just like Monster Hunter, where it was like, I want to craft this item.
So I need the blood of a basilisk.
Yeah, I need
basilisk. I need the horn of a dragon.
The Druaga gosh dang claws or something like that.
I want to make this venture down to the Underdark and find some purple worms.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, Nalif, Cathar has made a comeback in the story, so we do have one armor-clad player, and Edward dabbles. Edward's got like half, like medium armor. But yeah, that's what I want. Like, I would love to just play. I could do a whole campaign where it was just like you were like a group of blacksmiths or something like that, and you would get requests that are like, "Hey, I need a flame tongue," and so you need to go hunt down like a fire giant or something like that to like get their blood. And you need to kill a certain number of get real MMO, a certain number of fire giants, because the drop rate of highly ironized blood from a fire giant is really low. Leshka's fine. He's just
you have to like it's the hey, go to this area and camp the spawn points.
We just farm fire giants for like 2 episodes.
You have to kill like 50 fire giants.
And then you get the stuff that you need. I would be so in. Nalif. Leshka's doing fine. But Leshka will be going back to the Scholar's Guide Cather will be there.
As he will state next Monday in the episode, he kind of did what he set out to do. He assisted the party in finding Cather, and so now he's going to leave.
Yep. Congratulations.
And we're all the happier for it because that means Leshka didn't die.
Woo! That's a new trend. Leshka not dying? This is crazy.
Leshka not dying, we prefer having Leshka not die.
The next episode,
third time.
Dude.
Yeah, at the very beginning next
for like 400 damage.
It's actually what's gonna happen is we're gonna since we ended with Renaya and Cather leaving the temple, what's gonna happen is Cather's just gonna walk up to Leshka and just stab him through the heart and say there can only be one.
I personally hope that we leave Athala and Leshka also leaves, and then DJ does a cut scene with Leshka where he's like, it's time for me to go back to the library, and then he goes back to the library and it's raised to the ground. He's like, what happened here? And then you take a gasp of breath as just a sword is rammed through your back, and he turns around, and then it's like Prosius, and he's like, you thought you could escape me? And you're like, no! And then we never hear from Leshka ever again. That's what I would like.
And then eventually, like in a month or two, we're like, oh hey, I wonder if Leshka, how Leshka's going to the library. The rest of the party goes to the library and finds they just find his skeleton just laying on the ground next to the teleportation circle.
I hope that they we go up against an army, and they have as a threatening an intimidation tactic, they've just nailed the bodies of the friends of the party to boards and are marching towards us, and then it's just Leshka and we're like, oh crap.
No,
oh shit, dog.
Man. So to answer your question, Nalif, if Leshka will get any cameos voiced by myself, I'm down. I'm always down to have Leshka make an appearance. Leshka's great. Now, whether or not that will happen, I have no idea. I suppose the strongest possibility would be if there's some at the end of the campaign, assuming that there's some sort of real big battle that happens with the party and who knows who else. There's a chance that the party will see Leshka in the background, flying on a dragon or something, and shooting fire from his staff or something. That's what I want to happen.
I mean, I'm down. I'm down to see it. So I have a question. What are the magic items? I know I've asked you this before, but what are the magic items that Cather currently has on him?
That Cather currently has?
That he's attuned to.
That he's attuned to. Well, currently he has Vizen's greatsword. He also has his Blood Fury tattoo. And then he also has his broken sword. Okay. What used to be the Fate's Blade, which DJ and I are now currently calling the Broken Promise. Ooh. Because it sounds sick.
That is pretty sick.
However, that's likely to get swapped out every now and again because Cather also has a Ring of the Ram and a Cloak of Fire protection and stuff like that. Stuff that's actually pretty handy to have.
I have a question. So, before the end of chapter 1, I had made plans to make a magic item.
Okay.
Would you be interested?
I mean, of course. I'm always interested.
Because let me tell you, there is... So, you actually reminded me this, Handscape, when you mentioned the blood golems. Track made sure to pick up a blood golem core. And that can be used to create living armor from Eberron. Living armor. And now, mind you, I can also workshop this a bit to to see if I can haggle with DJ probably to add some stuff, take some stuff away, change it up a bit. Because I bet you I could make it pretty cool. So it would do this and then also do some additional stuff. The living armor normally gives a +1 bonus to armor class, and you have resistance to necrotic, poison, and psychic. Now that's what it does at the start. And
wait. Say that again. It gives you resistance to what?
Necrotic, poison, and psychic damage.
Okay, that's pretty nice.
It's pretty cool.
I'll take some of that.
So, now, mind you, this armor is formed from black chitin, beneath which veins pulse and red sinews glisten. To attune to this item, you must wear it for the entire attunement period, during which tendrils on the inside burrow into you. So this is symbiotic armor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It cannot be removed voluntarily while you're attuned to it. Unless you are targeted by like a remove curse spell. And it requires fresh blood to be fed to it. So immediately after you finish a long rest, you must either feed half of your remaining hit dice to the armor or take 1 level of exhaustion, which is not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal.
So after you finish a long rest or short rest?
Long rest.
Long rest.
So yeah, so you get back. You basically only ever have half of your hit die pool available. How often do we even take short rest? Also, hello, let's not. Short rest, not important, not that important. So what I'm thinking is, also, I have already confirmed with DJ that this is armor that you can choose to don. So it can remain non-visible until you choose for it to show up. Like, you're not currently covered in black ooze armor. You can be like, hi, I'm in combat armor, and then it like emerges from underneath your skin, which is, first of all, super cool looking. Second off, as I said, this is some stuff that I can probably workshop into that it does some additional things. It might have an activatable ability, like something like that. But right now, this is one thing that I know I have the parts for. Thoughts?
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm sending out an email before I forget about it. It's work related.
Classic drill every single time. I just have cool ideas and then bam, shut down.
Okay, how cool would it be to build that armor for like Abinthy or for like Cather?
It's so it can be any. I think it can be any armor, but Abinthy can't wear it because he's a wizard. The only people who could wear it are probably you and Edward. But Edward's not going to do it because he's Edward.
I mean, so the thing is, right? I am so down. The problem is I have too many things I have to attune to. Is the issue, because I already have 2 like really solid weapons plus his tattoo, and then like already a couple other magic items that are pretty solid as well. So it's just like I have too much.
Does Renaya wears armor, right?
Renaya has armor, yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, this feels.
I think she can wear medium armor.
This feels probably more up Renaya's alley in terms of magic items.
I mean,
like,
it is pretty cool.
Creepy,
it does feel very
demon
warm.
Armor. And then it also like protection against necrotic, like was it acid and psychic, something like that. Then we can add something else. So if she's able to unattune to Ruat, get some pumped up armor, some damage resistances, maybe even an activatable ability, and then it's like. So that way, also, that means that Renaya can wear whatever she wants all the time. And then when combat shows up, the armor just shows up. She's just there.
It just shows up. It's like a venom suit.
Present. Yeah, exactly. It's a symbiotic item. It's a symbiote item, I should say. I think we might also have the capability to make a Tentacle Whip. Which, let me tell you, also pretty sick. It's a +2 whip that it has disadvantage on attack rolls against aberrations, but any creature hit takes an extra 1d6 psychic, and when you crit, the target is stunned with no save.
Wow.
Yeah. I love these items. That's what I like.
I mean, it is pretty cool. I will admit.
Straight up. Cool. I'm also super sad because I've never had a chance to have Curzon's Ooze. I've brought this up to you before, but Curzon's Ooze, in order to attune to it, you literally just drink a vial of ooze.
Yeah.
And then it has like purely benefits. You gain like an acid breath attack. You can squeeze into a gap no larger than an inch. You have like like immunity to acid damage or something. The only downside to it is that if you die, your body is eaten by an ooze, and so you no longer have a body. At that point in time, though, it's like, but like, what's the likeliness of you full on dying at that point in time, right?
Yeah.
And like, if you die, then you're dead. You may not have a cleric in the party anyway.
Yeah. I would say it's a good item with no resurrection.
I love Curzon's Ooze. I'm a big fan of it. I think that it's underused. People are too afraid for Curzon's Ooze.
You'll just have to maybe in the future, if you DM a long campaign, you'll just have to introduce yourself.
I'm just going to shove vials of ooze at you. I'm just gonna hey, take this. And you're gonna be like, no. I'm like, no. And then you put it back in the little like the next room over. There's another one. Like, oh, here it is again.
It's actually just the same one. It's just following you around.
Straight up. Makes you resistant to poison and acid damage and immune to the poison condition.
Pretty good, actually.
For a minute, you can assume the amorphous qualities of an ooze and squeeze through any space as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing. Once per dawn. You gain acid breath, where as an action, once per dawn, you can exhale a 30-foot line that is 5 feet wide, causing a DC 15 dex save, and it does 8d8 acid damage.
Wow. That's
And then
really
the only
solid.
downside is it can't be removed while you're attuned to it, and once you're targeted by a spell that ends a curse, your attunement to the ooze ends. And then if you die while the ooze is inside of you, it bursts out and engulfs you, turning your corpse into a black pudding. But it's like, at that point, it's like, that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, you're dead.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've like killed players? A lot. I'm just saying I'm down. I also want to make more symbiote items. Like so the whip is like stored in your wrist. And that's super cool. There's living gloves that are like made of they would work very well as magical versions of the orcish gloves.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because they literally you attune to them, must wear them for the entire attunement period, and you gain one of the following proficiencies, your choice when you attune to it: sleight of hand, thieves' tools, one type of artisan's tools, and or one type of musical instrument. And then you not only become proficient, but you also gain expertise in that ability.
Oh, that's pretty rad.
Yeah, and there's no downside other than they can't be removed willingly, and they just look like your normal hands. They just look like skin hands.
They're just hands.
Because I like to think like thematically, that they're like the hands of a skilled craftsman that were literally turned into gloves.
Oh,
and so they now imbue the things that they knew in life to your body. It's kind of like that, the idea of like someone who had like an arm amputated and then like replaced with a different arm, but it was like the hand of a murderer, and so that one's really good at killing people.
Have you read the what's the book? There's a book that I had to read in high school for like my senior year English class, where I'm trying to remember the title, but basically this is really dark, so I apologize to anyone.
Content warning.
Content warning. That's right. But basically, it's in like a dystopian future question mark, where basically like the world of politics couldn't decide on like the pro life pro choice argument.
Oh yes,
so much to the
I know
point
this one as well.
That they came to a decision that
where you could just get rid of your kid.
You could, up to the age of 18, you could just if your parents decided, they could just send you off, and then you would literally just be surgically removed, and then all your parts would go off to like hospitals and stuff.
Then they would like donate your organs and limbs and stuff. Because I remember, because there was one character who like regretted that they did it, and so him and his wife had been like gathering all of the people that had gotten
they'd sent off their son, and so then they like at the end of the book, they have like this big like conference party kind of thing with all the
unwind. Yes, Handskate's got it.
It's a dark, it's a good book, but it's super dark.
When they get all the people together that have like, oh, they have my son's eyes or my son's hands, then they like almost start to remember.
I'm left lung.
Yeah, and it's like, oh yes, my son was asthmatic, so that's why you're asthmatic. And then they start to like remember what like that they were like, like, oh shoot, we got that scar when we fell down that hill that one time and stuff like that. That's exactly like what it is, except way worse than Dungeons and Dragons. Where it's like, we just chopped this guy's hands off so that way we could have skills craftsmen.
We just chopped off his hands, melted them, and made them into leather.
Yeah, so ta-da! Now I know how to wield a smith tool really well. I'm man, that's another project that I should make like a list of projects that I need to work on, because I would love to make like a thing that I could put on DM's Guild that was like symbiotic items, because I'm so into it.
The paper dungeon, so... the paper dungeon's guide to symbiotic items.
Yeah, the darker side of amputation. So this is another thing. I love making characters that are like missing parts of their bodies for various reasons, that have just replaced them or no longer need them. It's like one of the two. So like, I don't think I've ever made an artificer that doesn't have a robotic limb. And like, I know that I have to spend a whole like infusion or whatever to have this robot arm. I don't care. I want the robot arm. Like, one of my artificers that I played.
So they give us a cyborg race.
Oh man, I'm in. One of the artificers I made was missing a leg, an arm, and an eye. And so all three of his attunement slots were made up of robotic limbs, and then the Eye of Ersatz, which is just a robot eye. And the DM was like, you know that if you like, there's a lot of anti-magic zones like in this world. So if you like go into there, you just like can't walk, cast spells, or attack with a two-handed weapon, and you're also half blind. And I was like,
so?
And I don't understand.
I'm trying to see what's wrong here. Exactly.
And he was like, all right, deal. And it never came into play. Doesn't matter to me. Also, with the artificer, not only that, once you get to a late enough level, you can craft a rocket robot arm where you can punch people from a distance. Why? What else would I do? And you can't attune the item unless you're missing an arm.
Oh, yeah.
So you best believe I just
No,
don't
yeah,
have an arm.
yeah,
Take them all away.
exactly. It's
What
just
I
it's just
think
called foresight.
what I think that they should do, make it a change to make it easier to attune to those items. You only have to tune to the concept of robot limbs. So like you don't have to separately attune to an arm and a leg.
Oh, sure.
So like if in battle I already have a robot arm and then I lose a leg, I can just make a robot leg.
Yeah.
And it doesn't add to the attunement. They're just linked because they all go to they're all for the same purpose.
Right. Yeah.
Plus I like it's cool.
It also in the realm of robots, I really someday hope I can play a Warforged gunslinger.
Have I talked about? I'm sorry, this is completely off topic, but also kind of on topic. Have I talked about the Mechanomes here?
The Mechanomes?
Yeah, I don't know. That isn't like what they're called. They have a different name, but there's like a mechanical gnome, from
like Eberron or something?
no, it's the new stuff. Oh shoot, that's the wrong one. It's from the Spelljammer set.
Oh, I haven't looked at Spelljammer at all.
Oh my god.
I know. I need to. I haven't had time.
Oh, I'm not upset at that, but I'm talking about the I don't know if they're like the auto gnomes or something like that.
Get in the gnome, auto gnome.
I'm very confused as to what's happening right now.
Well, because you said auto gnome, and there's the store, the Auto Zone.
Oh, gotcha.
And they're in their ad, they say, "Get in the zone, the Auto Zone."
Okay, so first off, there's a lot of fine. So in the Astral Adventurer's Guide, there you go.
Is that a GIF on the front?
Yeah, it's a GIF.
Nice.
So there's a lot of cool, like a lot of cool races.
As an aside,
They are auto gnomes.
Ask, why did Wizards of the Coast create two like space creatures, one called the GIF and one called the GIF?
Because they hate us.
Like, Maz, if you're still here, why did you do this?
Yeah, this is I'm definitely blaming this as Wizard of the Coast. This is Maz's fault.
Like, just like one are strange elf people, and the other is a hippo dude.
Okay, I'm gonna go through these. First off,
anyway.
Yes, so there's a lot of interesting races. There's like the Astral Elf, which gives you the ability to like teleport as a bonus action. Ooh, and cool. Instead of the normal trance that elves go into, they get a special trance when they sleep where they can choose a proficiency. And so you gain proficiency in a skill and a weapon or tool. Neat. Pretty cool. Oh, you also know like Dancing Lights, Sacred Flame, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's the GIF where you gain proficiency in firearms, and ignore the loading property on them, which is pretty cool. The Hadazi, which are controversial, but like they can wield 4 weapons because their feet have thumbs. There's the Plasmoids, which are ridiculously disappointing. The Plasmoids are just bad, and it makes me really upset because they were hyped up, and I was like, "Oh man, yeah, those could be cool," and they suck. I don't care they're just not good.
Like, what
a Plasmoid is a sentient ooze that can turn its body into a humanoid shape. It's pretty it's a really cool concept. You can be a cool ooze person. They suck. You have normal 30-foot walking speed. Okay. You have amorphous, so you can squeeze through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide, provided that you are wearing and carrying nothing, so that will almost never come into play. Because why would it ever?
Wait, assuming you're wearing or carrying nothing?
Well, yeah, because you can't shrink those things that you have.
Okay, but like, yeah.
So if you are a monk rogue,
So if you are doing anything that is anything, you can't do it, pretty much. Because as an adventurer, you constantly and always, forevermore, have stuff that you're carrying and wearing.
I mean, yeah. So, but what matters more is that you also have advantage on ability checks you make to initiate or escape a grapple. So that's fine.
Okay, that's useful.
That's fine. To be fair, though, you're still a medium creature. So late level grappling just becomes worse because the things that you fight get bigger. So like most of the time, and even just in general, grappling is not very good. Like there's times where it's very useful and you really need it, like when you're holding down a flying creature or something like that. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, like the amount of combats that you actually grapple in are very limited. You have dark vision. Okay. You can hold your breath for up to 1 hour. My question is, why do they even need to breathe? They are an ooze.
Yeah.
In like video games, in media, they're found like underwater.
Uh-huh.
Why do they need to breathe?
Yeah.
They also have resistance to acid and poison damage and advantage against being poisoned. The condition, which is okay. You get 2 resistances. To be fair, though, they're pretty rare resistances. Acid and poison don't come up too often. And you don't even have immunity to being poisoned, which multiple races do.
Yeah.
But they're like, no.
Well, see, the thing is, like, I'm like in my head, I'm comparing it to like the magic item that you just talked about.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just a worse version of that.
It's just a worse version of that.
Mm-hmm. And now, so you know how all races, like, these are all pretty standard. You have your like, oh, here's the like basic things that they can do. Here's a little spice. Here's some like thematic things they can do, and then they have their like, this is their one big ability. This is their like capstone for this race. Like for like halflings, it's the ability to ignore ones. For a plasmoid, they have the ability Shape Self. As an action, you can reshape your body to give yourself a head, 1 or 2 arms, 1 or 2 legs, and makeshift hands and feet. Or you can revert to a limbless blob. While you have a human-like shape, you can wear clothing and armor made for a humanoid of your size. As a bonus action, you can extrude a pseudopod that is up to 6 inches wide and 10 feet long, or reabsorb it into your body. As part of the same bonus action, you can use the pseudopod to manipulate an object, open or close a door or container, or pick up or set down a tiny object. The pseudopod contains no sensory organs and can't attack, activate magic items, or lift more than 10 pounds. So congratulations, you get to be a functioning creature.
Yeah. I'm like, literally, you're like listing off all the things. I'm like, oh, hey, an extra arm, pseudopod little arm thing.
But it can't do anything.
That's kind of neat.
It's a worse mage hand.
Just normal. Yeah, it can literally just do normal and just
the Hadazee have that with their feet. But it can also use a small weapon. Like, it can use a light weapon like a dagger.
Uh-huh.
The Thrycreen have an additional 2 arms that can do way more than that. I'm going to now read to you the Autonomes. First of all, your creature type is Construct. You are small. Walking speed of 30 feet. Now we get into the fun stuff.
It's like, honestly, the walking speed of 30 feet actually is like really nice for a small creature. Mm-hmm. Most small creatures only get 25.
Armored casing. You have an armor class of 13 plus your dex.
Wow.
So as a wizard, you just don't need to pick up mage armor. That's just a thing that you have all the time.
That's really solid.
Yeah, and like there's other classes, other races that have that. I'm pretty sure none are coming to mind, but I'm sure that they're out there.
Well, okay, so lizard folk,
Warforged.
But see, I'm trying to imagine,
it's natural armor. It's not that
uncommon. Are they? But those, I don't think those ones start at 13 though.
I don't know. Anyway, you also have Built for success. You can add a d4 to one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw you make, and you can do so after seeing the d20 roll, but before the effects of the roll are resolved, a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, regaining all on a long rest. So you just get free guidance for like 2 to 6 times per day.
That's pretty good.
Healing Machine. If the Mending spell is cast on you, you can spend a hit die, roll it, and regain a number of hit points equal to the roll plus your con modifier. In addition, your creator designed you to benefit from several spells that preserve life, but that normally don't affect constructs. Cure Wounds, Healing Word, Mass Cure Wounds, Mass Healing Word, and Spare the Dying. So congratulations, now your Artificer or Healer that has Mending gets a free minimum d6 of healing on you for as many times as your level. So you're the easiest person in the party to heal. Instead of Spare the Dying, they can do that same thing. And if you are a barbarian autonome, you can regain 17 health. Just for free.
Just for a mending cantrip.
Yeah, and they can do that forever as long as you have hit die. So there's boop done.
I mean,
I'm not done. Mechanical Nature. You have resistance to poison damage and immunity to disease, and you also have advantage on saving throws against being paralyzed or poisoned. You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. In that one ability, you do everything that the Plasmoid does better.
What? What in the world?
I'm not done. Sentry's Rest. When you take a long rest, you spend at least 6 hours in an inactive, motionless state, but you are still active. So instead of sleeping, you appear inert, but you remain conscious. So you get 2 hours longer than an elf of a rest, but you're completely awake during the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you can just prop up and take guard, help you out.
Keep watch while you rest.
I'm still not done. Specialized design. You gain 2 tool proficiencies of your choice selected from the player's handbook. Autonomes are ridiculous.
That's really...
They're wild. They're absolutely absurd.
Yes. Especially compared to the Plasmoid.
Like, how did that happen? How did they do that? Like, now, mind you, I'm super down to play a gosh dang Autonome. But, like, I feel like they could have made some things that were, like, that just made the Plasmoid more interesting. Like, it feels like they didn't put a whole lot of work into it.
Yeah.
Also, the Autonome has, like, 7 different abilities. And one of the Plasmoids is, congratulations, you can have legs.
Yeah, right.
Like, why isn't that just a given? Like, that should have been the first thing. Like, you can choose to present yourself as a human or a blob. Like,
well, yeah, I was gonna say, like, just make it so that just give them just a normal shapeshifting ability, like several other shapeshifting.
There's plenty of shapeshifters out there. Don't require them to breathe.
Especially because like oozes can present themselves as like just fully just humans.
Yeah,
it's just people. It's not even like humanoid, like actual humans.
I want to go towards. Let me examine. We're gonna fix the Plasmoid race. That's what I'm gonna do today. You guys thought you were going to get actual conversations about Dungeons and Dragons? No.
Aaron, before we really deep dive into this, do we want to talk about Between the Rows real quick at all?
I don't know. Do you want to? What do you guys think? Do you think we should talk about Between the Rows?
Chat, if you want us to keep talking about how bad the Plasmoids are, or if you want us to talk about Between the Rows first, let us know. We'll give you like a 10-second head start. Oh, hey, Lydia's here. Hi, Lydia.
What's up, Lydia? Do. I'm trying to find. Do oozes need to breathe? Is this a thing? Because if it is, it's really dumb.
I mean, they don't have lungs.
Yeah, but at no point in time does it ever, like, most things that don't require breathing, it like says it in the stat block.
Yeah, like it states
Yeah,
they
like
don't
this
need to.
thing does not require food, drink, sleep,
I mean,
breathing.
it doesn't make
It
person
doesn't
speak.
make sense if
It
they
doesn't make
need to
any
breathe.
sense for an ooze to need to breathe. They're an ooze. Like they don't
Yeah,
like
find...
any water in any water that goes, that they would that would ingest in them would dissolve.
Yeah.
Because it's news. So they can't drown.
I'm legitimately thinking that this is just not a thing that they like included.
That
Because golems also don't say anything about not needing to breathe. But I'm pretty sure a clay golem doesn't breathe. Like a clay, like an iron golem doesn't need to breathe. That would be
constructs.
absurd. Yeah.
Like the whole point of a construct is it doesn't need oxygen.
Yeah. So so that's what I'm saying, because the stat block for oozes doesn't say that they need to breathe, but neither does the one for golems. So it wouldn't make sense if they.
But yeah, exactly. It wouldn't make any sense for them to need to breathe.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say they should have just made it
official
so
ruling here on the paper dungeon. On what month is it?
Oh, October.
It's October. That's right. It's spooky season. Today, October 6th, 2022. Oozes don't need to breathe, and neither do golems. It's official.
Yep. So what I'm thinking for oozes, or for the plasmoid race, I think also on top of having the like advantage to grapple, they should be able to do like at the start of the creature's turn that they're grappling, they take some amount of acid damage or something like that.
Yeah.
Like throw them a bone, get that out there. And then there needs to be like one other good, because the capstone ability being congratulations, you can now have legs, is a really bad capstone racial ability. So there needs to be one big final.
A capstone of congratulations. You can be a person.
Yeah. I just want you to be very thankful. I will allow you to wear armor. Because I know that you're an ooze. And the little metal robots have a natural armor class.
Yeah,
nope, not for you.
Like, make them actually be an ooze, So, like, if they get hit by an attack, it builds corrosion, like an ooze does.
Yeah, black pudding.
You can have it be so that, like, if you're grappling someone, they're taking damage from the acid of an ooze.
I would be so down if like their capstone ability was... So, like, how some oozes, if you deal slashing damage, they split into two.
Oh, yes.
I would love that if
that'd be really fun.
That if they had as like a action on your turn, you can split yourself into a separate creature that has like, you can allocate some amount of your hit points to it. And then like a maximum of one of them can exist at a time. And then it can like do something. I don't know. But we should probably talk about Between the Rows or something. This is too long to workshop. We don't have the time.
Yeah, but guys, look forward to the Paper Dungeons Ooze. The Plasmoid Revised. That's right. We will release it somewhere, I'm sure, eventually.
Yeah, somewhere out there.
The same place that we've put all of our Paper Dungeon stuff that we've homebrewed.
In our mind. A Google document.
Get on that, Aaron. Maybe we should.
I'm trying.
We just need to put them on the website.
I'd be so down for an Oops All Ooze.
Like just like develop like a decent looking PDF version.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Slowly, steadily,
and people can download it.
Come January, things are gonna change. I'm gonna turn Tuesday, Thursday into my TPD work days.
Right, exactly. Come January, you'll actually have time.
Yeah, like spare time. Like I still have 2 assignments that are due tonight that I need to do sometime between now and when we record Between the Rows.
Yeah, when we record.
Speaking of,
the nice thing is you have time after.
Yes, that's right. I'm gonna do it. Speaking of Between the Rows, this past Wednesday, we streamed episode 2, I believe, right?
Episode 2.
Episode 2. Y'all fought.
It is kind of weird to think about because like we are like at episode like 5.
Yeah. Y'all fought CJ's demons. Learned some which I thought it was pretty good combat. I don't think it's the best I've ever done, but I thought that it was relatively entertaining. I
thought it was good. I actually thought it was a really good like first combat for Between the Rows. I mean, shoot, one of us died.
Yeah,
like, actually died.
Yeah. DJ straight up got yeeted.
Like straight up yeeted. I made Lydia really mad at me, but it's fine.
Nice.
I mean, hey, we chilling.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
And then, but we succeeded. We won. We saved the day, kind of.
Yeah, you started the path to saving the day.
Yeah, we started the path to saving the day.
Yeah, you fought 2 burning sadness and pain creatures that had little hands. By Lydia, have good time at work. Had 2 little molten hands that would run around and just be a real pain in the neck. Which for those, I don't remember which book used it, but there are living spells. So they're creatures that represent living spells. So those were burning hands, which is the like cone attack that they did was just a burning hand spell. And then I can't remember what creature I used for the like actual fire monsters. Thanks, Faye, for the subscription going on 5 months. At tier 2, you're absurd.
You don't deserve it, but thank you.
Not at all. But yeah, I don't remember the creatures that I used for those fire things. I could maybe find it. In the meantime, I bought a bookshelf.
I noticed. I was going to ask you, actually. Yeah, it looks nice.
I had a minor breakdown yesterday because the last shelf, I had like set it up, and Grant was there, and you can ask Grant about it. But Grant's like, or I couldn't find the pins to put the shelf in. I'm like
they just were
they
gone?
just disappeared. I just had no idea where the pins are. I'm like, Grant, where are my pins? He's like, dude, the more I think about it, the less I understand as to where those pins went, because there's like not a whole lot of places they could be. And I was like, I know.
I feel that.
I don't understand.
Don't know what's going on.
Also, great job, Aaron. All I wrote down... Oh, okay. I used myrmidons for them, which are elementals that have been imprisoned in armor. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
The armor in this case being the flesh of a human being.
Yeah. So they were wrapped in fire and just dealt a whole bunch of damage. So that was fun.
Yeah, no, they
eviscerated you on round 1.
Yeah, like I mean, like I kind of volunteered for it though. Yeah. So like I was like,
you can be wherever you want to be, and you're like, I want to be be impaled on their hands, please.
Yeah. So chat, give some context, right? So when we recorded that episode, we like rolled initiative for combat. It was like just before the episode technically started. We had already rolled initiative just to help streamline things a little bit, and Aaron had said, "Hey, you can be wherever you want. Just tell me." And I thought about it, I'm like, well, it only sure, he said I could be anywhere, but really it only would make sense if I'm next to these things.
Morally, I should be here.
Like it would feel wrong. It would feel like I cheated, because because combat is starting with me blowing up. Like that's the only. It just makes sense. Now,
and I appreciate your honesty.
That continued to lead to my almost death. Yes, 100%.
But what are you gonna do?
Hey, but what are you gonna do when when your dreams of fire and destruction come to life, not much you can do.
I'm not sure if Rhaegal is still here, but they did ask me to kill more players. So
for Finder.
So I'm gonna have to put
kill more players, as in like kill them and bring them back, or just straight kill them?
Oh, they didn't elaborate.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, we could just keep killing Elliot.
We could. So here's the thing.
Just really make the poor guy even more traumatized.
So I'm caught in my own dilemma of me being a DM and me being a storyteller. Where like as a DM, I'm like, no, I want this to be different. Like I want people to have a high risk of death in this campaign. And then as a storyteller, I'm like, that'll make it really hard to write and conclude a compelling story.
Yeah. Which is why all of the deaths of Twinros happened on the last episode, because that's when it makes the most sense in regards to a storytelling aspect.
So so obviously,
this is like a home game. If it was a home game, super easy.
God, home game! You guys would have died like episode 2, just all of them.
Yeah.
So obviously, I can't spoil whether or not anyone dies in the next combat or anything like that. But I can tell you that whereas season 3 had no death in the first 3 episodes, which is, I can say that because we don't have a combat in the episode after. Or, no, season 3, this season.
You're talking about this season?
Yeah, this season. Episodes 1, 2, and 3.
But we've had a death within the first 3 episodes.
Oh, no, but not like a permadeath.
Oh.
No. Not like a you don't get to play anymore death. Because I do combats every other episode, so you know that in episode 1 and episode 3 there aren't going to be any deaths.
Right.
I can't guarantee the same thing will happen for season 4.
Does that mean we all well, no, I guess no, that's not true. Never mind. I didn't say anything. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, season 4 I'm wildin'.
Oh yeah, season 4 we don't make it past episode 1.
Yep. Episode 1, I would love for it to be like a 4-episode season, and then a person dies each episode.
I see, Aaron. Really, what we need to do, 4-episode series. Each episode, somebody dies. However, that person just makes a new character.
No. I want the last episode.
By the end of the series, we just have 4 completely new people.
I want the end of season 4 to just be a one-on-one game, where it's just me and one other player. Like that's my goal.
And is that just a verbal chess match against you to see if they live?
Oh no, it's you just whoever's still alive had better be on their A game, because like they're gonna have to carry the last episode by themselves.
We're just if it's anyone who isn't Lydia, we're just gonna like before the episode, like we're just gonna beg Lydia for all of her notes.
Yeah.
We're like, please, tell us what you know.
It'll be rough. As answer to your question, Maz, season 4 is in Old Ireland. It is the prequel for the previous 3 seasons. So, yeah, and it'll be using
the prequel to the original trilogy, as it were.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. So, yeah, I believe that it will take place in Ireland in the winter during the Great Potato Famine. And so, first off, people are already just dying.
I was going to say, that's the twist. None of our characters die because of stuff with the in-between.
Yeah, it's just like you starve.
Everybody just starves.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what a bummer.
Just dies of starvation.
Shout out to potatoes for having like 90% of the nutrients that you need to live.
Dude, potatoes are just straight up yoided.
Potatoes are incredible. Potatoes slap, bro.
Yeah, they do.
I also shout out to Handskate and Hal for giving me potato soup recipes. It hasn't gotten cold enough to get to the point where I'm like, I really want to make potato soup. And also, I don't think I have a stock pot big enough for potato soup. Like my stock pot is some wheat sauce. It's bad.
My mom has a like a potato chicken like recipe. It's for oh, it's not technically a soup. Oh, what's a soup, but it's just thicker.
A bisque.
Uh,
a stew.
oh, it'll come to me eventually. Maybe hands will let me know.
Gruel.
But anyway,
yeah, that's a good word.
Gruel.
But yeah, I love like baked potato soup, where it's like loaded baked potato soup, and it's got like the cheese and the
Super, but soup is just great.
I love soup. So you're a soup person?
Oh yeah.
Does DJ like soup? I'm exposing DJ
chowder.
on stream.
Yes.
Chowder.
Thank you, hands. I knew you would have my back. Yes, a chowder. It's a really good chowder recipe.
Yeah, that's a sauce pot you need, a standard or a large stock pot. Yeah, like, of course, the bot... So this is my least favorite thing about buying cooking implements, because sometimes they just lie to you. Where, like, I bought a set of pots and pans. They're like, yes, and a sauce and a stock pot. And I, like, take out a stock pot, and it's like that tall. And I'm like, what do you expect me to do with that?
To make a really small,
it's two bowls.
It's a personal soup.
Yeah, two bowls.
Yeah,
it's
just for you, Aaron.
Stock pot. Don't lie to me. But yeah, I need to pick. But stock pots are so expensive. They're like $40 a pot.
Just make lots of soup.
Yeah, I also need to pick myself up a crock pot.
Ooh,
that'll make life just way easier. Handskate, I will literally take any and all soup recipes you want to send. I would love if at some point in time we could just compile them into one big PDF and make like TPD recipe book.
Yes, the TPD recipe book definitely needs to happen. And then also there just needs to be like either on the Discord or just on Twitch. We just need to have like a cooking day.
I would love to do a
where
cooking
people
day.
can just
the Scarlet Taste. We can literally have the Scarlet Taste cookbook.
Yeah, and yeah, it'd be perfect. It'd be exactly what we need.
Yeah, but yeah, and crockpots are another thing where I'm like, I would love to have a crockpot, and then I look at crockpots and it's like $80, and I'm like, I just want something that can heat soup for a long period of time. But yeah, I would love to do a cooking day. I don't do as much cooking as I wish that I did, mainly just because I end up with so many things that I have to clean afterwards that it makes me sad. But yeah, I like cooking. I'd like to do it more. I used to be pretty good at it when I was forced to do it as a child. But now I actually want to do it willingly. I would also like to make some lefse. Some good old-fashioned lefse. But like not with the fish, just with butter and cinnamon. Because that slaps.
Yeah, I don't like fish. I can agree with that.
Huh?
Although maybe if I tried fish like here on the coast or closer to the coast, maybe it'd be better.
No. The fish that goes in lefse, Handskate, you know the name of it. And for the life of me, I can't remember. I'll see it and I'll be like, yes, that is the fish, but I won't be able to. Yeah, lutefisk. That's not my jam. Like, I'm down with lefse in the, like, with just butter and cinnamon as, like, a sweet dessert. Oh, or, like, a breakfast food. That I am in for that.
Honestly,
I'm just throwing lutefisk on it, and I am out.
I'm just imagining, like, the fresh rolls with the cinnamon butter from, like, Texas Roadhouse.
Never been. I have somehow managed to avoid going to Texas Roadhouse every single time I have been invited to Texas Roadhouse. Not purposefully, I just have other things going on and I'm not able to go.
I mean, I greatly enjoy it. This one
makes me sad.
It's got some good food there.
Yeah, I would love to do. I would love to do more variety streams on the favorite dungeon, or even if it's I only get to do it like once I start up my own channel and stuff like that. I'd be down.
So I mean, I don't know how often I would get to do this. One thing that I would love to do eventually myself even is do like either Patreon videos or like smaller streams with the Paper Dungeon of Grant and I working on music.
Yes, stuff. Absolutely.
That would be rad, I feel like. Granted, that requires Grant and I to work on music stuff.
Yeah, of course. Oh, geez. And you have to schedule it and like do it at the same time.
We have to both have like time to work on stuff.
But, also, Maz, if you're looking for once you figure out your like subclass stuff, and honestly, you can use it for anything. A really good like open source thing to make it look good. Use Home Brewery. It lets you make like PDFs that look like they would be like Wizard of the Coast stuff. Like has like background. It's super easy to figure out, and like manipulate into looking like a professional D&D document. It's what I've been using for the things that I haven't completed. But when we like actually release stuff, that's probably what I'd use to turn into good PDFs, and it's just a super easy like step 1, step 2 type of deal. Very, very smooth learning curve. Yeah, check it out. It's really cool. Is there anything else that we want to talk about Between the Rows? I know we got distracted about cooking.
I'm real excited. I mean, I think the party will not the party, the fans will greatly enjoy the next couple episodes that they get to see.
I don't know. Is Let's Not still here? Because Let's Not sent a message over the Discord to me about the Grant's date. That was just real sad. I was so proud of that because it actually links back to the end of campaign 1 where I do the like where are they now?
Right, yeah.
Thing.
Like what did they do?
Yeah, and Grant's like where are they now was like but every once in a while Grant returns to like an empty baseball field or to a lonely baseball field and throws pitches to an empty catcher's box. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna bring that up. Yep. Just really doubling down on
real sad right there.
Grant and I were watching it at the same time. Lydia was there too. And like I say that and he goes, oh man, that's sad. And then it keeps going on. And he's like, man, you're really hounding into this, huh? Like you're really doubling down. So that was fun.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Shout out to Let's Not. I'm excited because I know that they're already taking notes for tarot cards.
Mm-hmm.
I
think this will be a really, really good season for it. Like honestly, Loki, bro, it's going to be the best season.
Oh my god, I'm so excited, and I don't remember enough of which cards they have already done and which cards still could be done. So every single one is just a surprise. Like I'm like, oh, I forgot about that one.
I mean, isn't there like 50 tarots or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. The people in the chat are better at this than I am.
I mean, Handscape, you know, right?
Handscape would know that. I feel like there's like 28 or something of
I mean, there's a decent amount, right?
Major Arcana.
Yeah. I suppose. I mean, that is, because there's also it's two different things, right? There's
major and minor.
Yeah.
I don't have a full deck. I have some of the cards that Let's Not had finished and sent to me. But I don't know how many major arcana there's. I have ordered 2. I kickstarted 2 tarot decks, one of which is D&D themed, and the other one is really, really... There's 22 cards in the major.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, so let's see. In theory, that would mean that how many cards? Okay, so there's six of us of the main cast from the first campaign, and then there's 4 of us. So that's 10.
I believe
Plus,
they have
they also
13
did
of them done.
Stuff for that, and then
there's only 9 left in the major. So we have
I
the Devil,
think
the Lovers, the High Priestess, Justice, the Hanged Man, the Magician, Death, Strength, the Chariot, the Hermit, the World, the Tower, and Temperance. So 13 done. Meaning 9 are left. Now, I don't know if Let's Not will do all 9 in one season, because that seems a little crazy.
I mean, we'll certainly have probably potentially enough characters for that, depending on how different everybody turns out being from previous seasons. You know, if you have repeating themes, then it makes it a little more difficult. But possible, I suppose. I am pretty excited for the fact that we get to record episode 5 tonight.
Yeah, and I've got to make sure that I have that all planned out. I've got some cool things maybe planned out for tonight. Got some interesting concepts I'm excited to see. Hey Maz, can you send us give me a general thought. Like, I know that you sent it a little earlier on, but I know it's an artificer subclass. A Doc OC armor artificer variant. But I want to see it condensed. New armor artificer variant. Gotcha. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, Doc Ock. I was literally reading it like Doc OC. And I'm like, what does OC stand for?
Yeah, Doc.
Original character? Okay, gotcha. Okay, no. It's all coming together in my mind. I've got it now.
That would be pretty
pretty sick.
Basically, instead of becoming an Iron Man, you can become a Marvel villain instead of a Marvel hero.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot, and you can also theme that a lot of different ways too. Because I would, if I had that subclass, I would theme it as, because once again, I love characters that are just missing limbs, or are that aren't able to walk or something. So I would just have it be like one of those robot like spider chairs that like they have in Star Wars that just like walk around. That's what I'd do with it. And then I'm like hanging from the ceiling casting spells and stuff, and like cool arms and spikes are shooting out. It would be great. Yeah, sounds good. I'm excited to see whatever you come up with, Maz. Or don't show it to me. I'll allow it.
just make us pay for it.
Yeah. Put it on a $50 tier gosh dang thing on DM's Guild, and I'm there. I'm in. Not actually. I can't pay $50 right now.
I can't.
Ooh, like a robot like Scorpion Tail or something too.
Basically, it's just instead of armor, it's just extra appendages.
Yeah, you get a pseudopod that actually works, unlike the unlike the Plasmoids.
But wait, hold on. Instead of armor, it would just be
armors. That was a bad joke, Drew. That was bad. It wasn't a good one. I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you. That joke was a bit of a flop.
I don't know what you're talking. See, Maz is with me. That's all I.
Sure. Anyway.
Anywho.
Yeah, so schedule-wise, just to recap kind of what we've got going on in the near future. Tomorrow, a duo shot should be released at around 7 p.m. CST on our Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Grant and I have a little duo shot. So, Drew, you haven't seen it. I don't there's no way that you would have seen it, right? My favorite thing about this is, so it's Patreon. So we get to be a little bit freer. So I would say that there's a lot more of adult themes and jokes made on the Patreon. Yes, Handskate, you as one of our 5 Patreon people finally have some kind of content.
And who knows? Maybe we'll see a ever so slight bump for this month on the Patreon.
Yes,
of the Patreon.
Imagine Handskate. You get to be one of the 5 people who see this. But yeah, it was so funny because Grant before the recording was like, Aaron, there's no one to hold us back, no one to stop us. We can be wild, we can be funny, we can be serious, we can be slightly homoerotic. And I was like, slightly, and he was like, that's fair. We can just do anything, Aaron. And I was like, okay. So there's a lot more kind of dirty jokes.
The worst part about that, for me, right, is I can totally see Grant saying that. I'm just disappointed that he did.
Oh, but it's so good. We even talk about it in the actual recording where I'm like, I would love to compare this to whatever Drew and Lydia end up doing, because this compared to that, you're going to watch this and then go watch their game, and it's going to be like going to church. You're gonna watch us and be like this is funny, but also so much dirtier than the main channel.
It's one of those things where you watch it and you just feel dirty. You feel like you need to take a shower.
Absolutely. And it's just going to be so wildly different.
Also,
so as for kind of what to expect in this duo shot, the best comparison of vibes that I think I could come up with for it is if you've ever seen the movie Green Hornet. That is what Abinthy and Edward are. Abinthy is the incredibly competent, super genius car guy who makes the actual car for the Green Hornet, and then Edward is the rich bimbo who has punched someone before. And it's phenomenal.
That's funny.
I think that the recording went very well. It was an absolute blast to play in. And, some of you are cool enough to get to watch it. So, and a reminder, if you're not a Patreon subscriber, but you are a subscriber, then you will still get to see it. Yeah, Twitch subscriber, you'll get to see it through our Discord in roughly 2 months, I believe. I think it's in December is when we'll... October, November, December. Yeah, I think December. Start of December, we'll release it on our Discord.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And be on the lookout. We'll have every now and again. Not super annually, or super often, but every now and again we'll be putting more and more kind of game stuff on Patreon.
Yeah, and not all of the stuff that is on Patreon will go to subscribers. So because we want you to feel exclusive. We want you to feel your money above the rest.
Your money that you're spending on us specifically for Patreon content is actually, for Patreon.
Yeah, we actually come up with another thing that we're probably going to do. Hey, more than once a year, Handskate, we're working on. I'm telling you.
Like I said, a little more than that.
January, a little bit more. January hits. game changes. All
we
right.
are Handscape. We're aiming for twice a year. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, give us
Get it
some credit.
together. We have 4 people. That's 2 duo shots. Okay. Um, but in the episode, we actually Grant and I, there's a bit where we end up at like a sauna. And we're like, oh my god, we could totally do like the steam room with Abinthy and Edward. And all it is we talk in character for like 15 minutes. Like we're in a steam room. And we could release that like monthly or bi-monthly, something like that. And Maz, don't you worry about that. I love doing stuff like this. So now mind you, I'm also really bad at remembering to do stuff, and but I'll try. But
just remind him a lot in Discord.
Yeah, just spam me. I won't even be upset. I'll appreciate it. But yeah, we have. We also plan on putting out some more like one shot kind of deals. Drew, you're going to be DMing one of the one shots for the Patreon, right?
Yes, I am actually. So something that is going to be happening, just so you guys are aware, some exclusive behind the scenes kind of stuff here.
Only
so
on Table Scraps.
Only on Table Scraps. So one of the things that we're planning on trying to roll out on Patreon is just every now and again having a one shot that appears on there. And the first one that we are going to put on there is going to be a one shot DM by myself with the rest of the cast. It's going to be a good time. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet, but be on the lookout for that stuff as well, because it's also coming.
Yeah, we're probably going to just rotate through DMs, there's not going to be like a second campaign or anything, but just regular one shots.
Yeah.
Theoretically, once a month, unless things prevent us from releasing it, which there's a definite possibility of those things happening. But the general idea is roughly once a month. And then I also have a solo thing planned. DJ and I are planning on doing some of that stuff, and then we've got lots of things. I plan on stepping up to the Patreon stuff because I've have a lot more experience in terms of the things that I watch using Patreon, so I can just steal their ideas. And I think that it's really cool and interesting, and it's around the stuff that I enjoy doing. So I'm planning on taking some charge, because I feel really bad, because it was basically like, hey, I don't know, like Drew and like Lydia and Drew and Grant, just kind of do that. Just go. You take care of the Patreon. It's like, well, we can't really do that. Like, that's rude.
See, and personally speaking, like I'm down to help with Patreon stuff, but like the part of the issue with Patreon stuff in a general sense is we need multiple peoples of Paper Dungeon to do stuff.
And that's just tough to do. So once I have things under control / once college ends, I'm going to be stepping into that a lot more. So, and also because, you patrons are very special to us and are very important. And we don't want to. I don't especially want to let y'all down. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we want to have some cool content on there for those people who support us in that way.
Yeah, and some of it we'll share with the rest. But and most of those are just going to be teasers.
Where it's like, we're just going to give trailers.
Could be doing.
Yeah.
Like, you could be the cool like the patrons.
Although this is totally random, but you mentioning almost being done with college reminded me. Like last night, I had the strangest dream where, for whatever reason, I didn't finish college, and
trust me,
I had like a semester left.
Yeah.
That and I was coming back from I don't even know I was coming back from some big trip, and I was gonna go finish school, and then, while still in the dream, I'm like, hold on, that doesn't make any sense. So I have my associate, I have my degree. What?
What just happened, Drew, is you dream walked into my daily life. Where I'm like, why am I here? Like, what is happening?
What is going on?
What is going on?
Anyway.
Yeah, but we are just about at the end of our allotted time. It is almost 2 hours. We're about 2 minutes off. So I'm going to run us through our final plugs and whatnot. Sorry, just reading Maz's message. That's rough, buddy. But we have social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. They're there. They're present. They're doing stuff. Some of you probably learned about us through our social medias. And yeah, so check those out. We've got a Discord. If you're not in the Discord, be there because it's very important and there's a bunch of cool people there. We also have a website, www.thepapertender.com. We have a merch store. You can buy merch with our logos on it. Speaking of merch stores, Lydia Corinne also has a merch store. On that store, you can buy artwork of hers that she's done on pillows and shirts and shorter shirts, aka crop tops. And also join her commission list because she has an active one. It is up and running where you can commission your own artwork from her and help her pay rent. We also have a lot of different ways to support it. Also, yes, you can thank Drew for fixing the spelling of the website name. There's a lot of ways to support us. We've mentioned our Patreon. That's super awesome. You can become a Dungeoneer over there and get some exclusive content. Also, we have a Streamlabs donation and a Ko-Fi. But the easiest way to support us is just by being here and bringing your friends, spreading the word of mouth. That's where we're at. We're like old-timey news people. Word of mouth. That's what it is. What it do. Oral storytelling.
Word of text.
Yeah, word of text. I don't know. Bring them. You know how it works. You're tech people. Yeah. You've got it. And check out On DM's Guild, the Mist manuscripts. It's a really great thing. Pay what you want. Any proceeds from now until Halloween will be matched by me and a couple other people and sent to Jasper's Game Day. We recommend just going straight to Jasper's Game Day to donate as well. So pay the recommended price of like $1.50 and then go to Jasper's Game Day and then donate. Like, actually, because WotC will get 50% of your $1.50. So yeah, check that out. Maz, did you get the Mist manuscripts? I want to know. Because you just said cool thing, which makes me think that you've actually looked at it. Well, tell me what this is. I'm talking with a real live person who's seen it. Do you have a favorite one? Like a favorite location? Because for those of you wondering, it takes a delve into dark domains of the Shadowfell and takes a whole bunch of things. Very similar to Von Richten's guide to Ravenloft. Yeah. God, I'm bad at this. Maz is like, oh shoot, and he's flipping open the PDF and scrolling through the
like, which one is my favorite?
That one, I don't know. But yeah, I think there's like 6 domains. Also, just so you know, that cover art, the cover art is super, super cool. It's like a raven and like there's a gemstone. It's really cool. That was done by the person who like headed the thing. Like that, like they made that. That is, it's like in-house. They were like, yeah, I just did that. Oh, yes. So we have another person who makes really incredible maps. And they loaded up their area with maps. So yeah, so you have some cool maps there too. I wish that I had the chance, but I was struggling to even write down words. But that's all the stuff. Check that out. It's a super cool cause. We're already doing some good stuff, and it's really great. And it's a cool group, so I want to shout it out as much as I can. I really need to get it on our like Instagram and Twitter and maybe even TikTok as well. Something along those lines. But yeah, thank everyone for coming out today and listening to us ramble about just all sorts of random stuff. The only thing that I have left to say to everyone today is good luck and godspeed, Dungeoneers. We will see you next time at Monday, 7 p.m. CST.